Hi, I'm Shane from Natural Candle Supply, and in this video I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a soy wax container candle using our beginner's soy wax container kit. Okay, let's get started. The first thing you'll notice when you unpack your kit is that you've got 3 bags of wax, 3 bottles of fragrance and 6 glasses. What we're going to be doing is using 1 bag of wax, 1 bottle of fragrance mixed together, and that's going to produce 2 soy wax candles in 2 glasses. So get yourself 1 bag of wax and fragrance, that's what we're going to use first. We need to set up the 2 glasses first, ready to pour. So you're going to need your wick stickums, which are the double-sided self-adhesive. 2 of your wicks, you can peel off the first layer of the stickum. Then we place the wick onto one side, peel it off, so you've got your stickum on the underside of the wick, and then place that down in the center of the jar, push it down firmly. Take your second wick, place that onto the bottom of the adhesive, peel it off so it's stuck on one side on the wick, like so, and then the second side is going to go into the bottom of the jar. Push that down firmly in the center. Take one of the paddle pop sticks and also a peg, which is included, and then we're going to peg that and put that roughly in the center. We can always adjust it later, and the same on the other glass. Paddle pop stick and then the peg to hold it in place. You don't want your wick to be bent on the way down. It's better to have the wick nice and straight, but don't pull it too tight, otherwise you'll pull it out of the jar. So those 2 glasses now are basically ready for pouring. So the next thing that we need to do is to melt the wax. We've got various methods of melting the wax. You can do it in the microwave, it's probably one of the simplest ways. Just be very careful you don't overheat the wax. We're going to do it here in a larger melter that we sell. Just move this out of the way. So I'll bring in the melter. This is a 5-litre melter that we sell. It's got some water inside it. I'm just going to turn that on now. And this is a aluminium pouring jug that we also sell in our equipment section. You can use a pot and a stove at home. You can melt the wax directly inside the melter without putting the water in and doing it in this. You just have to be a lot more careful that you don't overcook the wax and just keep an eye on the temperature. But this is quite a safe, easy way to get started. So the first thing that we'll do is we're going to open up the bag of wax. I'm going to pour the full contents of the bag into the pot that we want to melt the wax in. So I'm going to pour that in there. It's going to sit in there nicely now. And we're just going to wait for the water to melt up. Once the water starts to melt up, it's going to transfer the heat into the jug and then into the wax. So it's a very safe way to melt your wax, especially when you're starting out. You've got the thermometer that's included in the kit. Once your wax starts to melt, pop the thermometer in. You can keep an eye on the temperature. We want to aim for around 75 degrees Celsius, but it doesn't have to be exact for this. It's a beginner's kit. It's going to work fine as long as it's roughly between 70 75 degrees, no problem. Okay, a couple of minutes later and my wax is just about molten. I'm just checking the temperature now. My wax is actually about 65 Celsius, which is okay. As long as it's not too hot and the wax is completely molten, it's going to be fine. I'm going to move that out now, out of the water. And I'm actually going to transfer it into the pouring jug that you get with the kit. So no matter how you melt your wax, whether it's in the microwave or this method or inside, straight inside a cooker such as this one, the simplest thing to do is transfer that molten wax into your pouring jug. I'll explain in a sec the advantages of that. Okay, now that we've got the molten wax out into the pouring jug, which you receive in the kit, open your bottle of fragrance, pour the complete contents of the bottle of fragrance into the wax. With the bamboo skewer supplied in the kit, you can give it a good mix. It's always very important with any candle making to ensure you give your fragrance a very good mix. Just be careful of your eyes when you're mixing. Put a nice good mix in there. And then we're ready to pour. Now, the advantage of this jug is, this is why I wanted to transfer the wax into this pouring jug, is the nice long spout. It makes it very easy to rest that jug on your hand and get a steady pour. So we're going to fill the glass up to somewhere up near the top. No need to go right to the top. And then the second glass as well. Remember, it's got the right amount of wax and fragrance to make 2 glass candles. The reason we've done that is from a beginner's point of view and a beginner's kit. There's no need to have a set of digital scales, otherwise you'd normally have to weigh your wax and weigh your fragrance first before you make your candle. So we're now going to just center those up a little bit, make sure the wick's nicely in the center to get the best burn that you can. And then we're going to leave those for several hours to set. Okay, we've just let this candle sit now for just over 2 hours. We can actually trim the wick now, so we can remove the peg and the paddle pop stick. You want to trim your wicks to about approximately 1 centimetre. You don't need any more wick than that. And just trim that there. The wax is still a little bit soft in this one. You'll notice sometimes the wax pulls away from the top of the candle. We can push that down into the wax. But apart from that, that candle's ready to go. I'd recommend leaving it overnight to set harder. The wax will be still quite soft for 12 to 24 hours depending on the cooling temperature. I'd leave the candle set overnight before you burn it, but of course now you're ready, you've got your peg and your paddle pop sticks ready to go. You can start to make the other 4 candles. Then you can make your whole 6 candles and enjoy burning those. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I do hope you enjoy making your first soy wax candles. Thank you.